Good day, class. Welcome to another video presentation of our core social work statistics. So in this video, I will discuss chapter 6, which is hypothesis testing and inferential statistics. So the subtopics in this chapter are the following. Una, we will discuss the definition and types of hypothesis, and then t-test and p-value, paano kinukuha yung dalawang yan, and what do they mean. And then we will also discuss type 1 and type 2 errors, and lastly is the effect size. Let me just read yung learning objectives natin for this lesson or for this chapter. So by the end of this chapter, you should understand the following concepts. First is how to formulate a hypothesis. So you should be able to formulate the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. Next is to know the difference between type 1 and type 2 errors in hypothesis testing, specifically their implications when it comes to your field of study as social workers. Halimbawa, ano yung risk kapag type 1 error yung mangyari dun sa study nyo? O kaya naman, anong risk kapag type 2 error yung meron dun sa study nyo? So, merong mga risk kasi yung mga research studies. So, dapat ay sensitive kayo dyan sa possible implication. Next, how to use a t-test. So, una, tuturuan ko kayo kung paano i-conduct ang t-test sa Microsoft Excel and paano sila i-interpret yung mga statistic doon. Next, how the p-value is used to interpret results, how to calculate effect size, and lastly, how to use effect size in addition to significance test. So, let's start with the definition and type of hypothesis. First, define muna natin. Kapag sinabi nating hypothesis, most common ay yung educated guess. So, from our high school, maalala nyo kapag sinabing hypothesis, educated guess yan. So, kapag sinabing educated guess, bakit educated guess? Kasi it comes from observation. So, hindi lang tayo basta-basta manghuhula. Halimbawa, hindi ko pwede sabihin na uulan bukas or o kaya uulan sa January 7, 2026 o kaya 2027. So, kapag sinabi kong gano'n, wild guess lang yun. So, hindi siya hypothesis. Ang hypothesis is educated guess. So, based on observation, itatry natin na bigyan ng explanation. Halimbawa, pwede ko sabihin na tomorrow will rain because yung based sa pag-asa weather outlook ay uulan bukas o kaya mataas yung halimbawa 70% chance of precipitation. So, educated guess na siya. So, iiwan na natin 'tong educated guess na meaning na ito, iwan na natin 'yan. Ang gusto natin dito ay ano ba yung hypothesis when it comes to research. So, ang hypothesis when it comes to research ay yung attempt to explain the recognized problem. So, 'di ba sabi natin ang research nag-i-start 'yan sa identification of the problem. Kapag nag-identify ka ng problem, syempre magre-research ka for possible solution. So kapag nag-come up ka na sa possible solution, ngayon gagawa ka ng hypothesis. So halimbawa, sabihin mo na this solution can help this problem. So that's your hypothesis. Yung hypothesis mo ay based dun sa previous research mo. Ngayon, after nung hypothesis mo, after mo mag-formulate ng hypothesis, itetest mo naman yung hypothesis mo through experimentation. So, kapag meron ka na nung data from your experiment to test your hypothesis, so magkakaroon ka ngayon ng data for stat analysis. So, ang concern natin for this lesson ay yung stat analysis in relation to hypothesis testing. So, after ng stat analysis, meron ka ng mga halimbawa, t-value, p-value, and etc. yung mga test statistic natin. So, meron na tayong kakayahan to decide whether to reject or not yung ating hypothesis. So, pwede natin sabihin na based on dun sa statistical analysis natin, pwede natin sabihin na no, the hypothesis is not true. So, we will reject it or another way. So, ito na yung definition natin ng hypothesis. Next. And so, when doing a research, sabi dito, the researcher starts by assuming no significant relationship. Etong no significant relationship, ito yung tinatawag natin na null hypothesis. So, gumagamit tayo ng notation na H naught to signify yung no significant relationship. Ibig sabihin, kapag mag-start tayo ng research, mag-start tayo na sabihin na walang significant relationship dun sa variables natin. And then we will proceed uh, to seek to prove na yung assumption natin, which is ang assumption na tinutukoy dito is yung null hypothesis, is incorrect. So kung incorrect siya, therefore we will reject it. So sige, papakita ko sa inyo mamaya yung example. And then at the end of the research, the researcher decides whether to reject or fail to reject the null hypothesis. So ito yung goal natin for hypothesis testing. Ang goal natin is to have enough data so that we can decide whether to reject or fail to reject our null hypothesis. So, ayan. Sa lahat ng research, yan yung goal. Reject or, ah, ano lang ha, in regards to yung statistical analysis. Pero syempre yung goal talaga is, halimbawa, sa social work intervention, syempre yung goal dun is makatulong. Pero hindi naman yun yung pinag-uusapan natin. Pinag-uusapan natin is yung statistical side. So, yung goal natin with regards to the statistical side ng research is to reject or fail to reject our null hypothesis. And so why do we need to test the hypothesis? 'Di ba sabi natin kanina, kapag tayo may hypothesis, which is yung assumption to try to explain a solution or possible solution, why do we need to test it? Siyempre, kasi paano natin, halimbawa, yung intervention natin ay magastos. Tapos, nag-decide na lang tayo na gawin siya without really testing kung yung intervention ba na yun ay magwo-work or not. Kapag yun ay hindi pala nagwo-work, wala naman palang significant difference. So parang gumastos lang tayo na wala namang effect, significant effect. So that's why we need to test the hypothesis. So, yun. In addition to that, consider the scenario. Basahin ko na lang. So there is a monthly community meeting led by barangay officials. During one meeting, the officials offered childcare and noticed that attendance was higher than usual. So based on these first two sentences, kita nyo na agad kung ano yung variables na tinutukoy natin dito. So ano yung variables dito? Ang variables dito ay una yung offering ng childcare, pangalawa ay attendance. Attendance nung kung sino man yung nag-aalaga dun sa bata. Okay, so ang tanong dito, kapag ba nag-offer ng childcare, tataas ba yung attendance ng mga citizen dun sa barangay? So, yun yung tanong dito. So, it's tempting to conclude that wait lang, sabi dito, the officials offered childcare and noticed that attendance was higher than usual. So, observation ng barangay official, nung nag-offer sila ng childcare, mas tumaas yung attendance ng mga tao dun sa barangay. So, it is tempting to conclude that offering childcare caused the increase in attendance. However, the change could also be due to other factors such as more convenient meeting day. Halimbawa, yung previous meetings led by the barangay officials ay every Monday. So, every Monday may trabaho ang mga tao. So, most probably hindi sila available nun. So, paano kung yung childcare pala, yung day na nag-offer sila ng childcare ay Sabado, tapos mas madami palang available nun. So, baka yun yung reason. Tapos, halimbawa, fewer schedule conflicts. Halimbawa, yung previous meetings ay normal weekends. Tapos, yung day or month na nag-offer ng childcare ay December, which is madaming events, for example. Tapos, ibig sabihin, maraming scheduled conflicts. So, ayun, yun, may mga implications yun. Next, better weather. Halimbawa, yung natapat yung childcare na nag-offer ng childcare sa sunny day. So, magandang lumabas ng bahay. Tapos yung previous meetings ay maulan. So, baka because of that lang or simply because of random chance. So, yung random chance na sinasabi dito is yung probability. Ibig sabihin, yung probability na yung result lang halimbawa yung sabi natin 'di ba yung result nito based dito sa unang two sentences ay offering childcare increases attendance. 'Di ba yun yung tingin natin na result. So, what if ano lang pala siya, by chance lang, nagkataon lang. So, yung probability na 'to na nagkataon lang, kina-quantify 'to using the p-value, which is i-discuss pa naman 'to sa later slide. Yun. So, yun. malalaman natin using statistical analysis kung gaano taas or gaano kalaki yung probability na random chance lang yung result. Next, so there are two types of hypothesis. Una is yung null hypothesis, pangalawa ay yung alternative hypothesis. So let's discuss this two. Unahin natin yung null hypothesis. So yung null hypothesis, sabi nga natin kanina, ang notation na ginagamit sa null hypothesis ay ito, H subscript 0, H naught. So it represents the possibility that there is no significant difference between the populations you are interested in. So argues that any difference are due to chance. So ang pinaglalaban ng null hypothesis ay yung result daw ng study natin, nagkataon lang yan. Okay, yun yung pinaglalaban ng null hypothesis. That's why sinasabi niya na wala naman talagang significant difference, nagkataon lang yung result na yun. So, yun yung pinaglalaban niya. And as researchers, limbawa kayo as social workers, tapos may pinapresent kayo na intervention. So, gagawin ninyo ay itatry ninyo na i-reject yung null hypothesis. So, example, there is no significant relationship between a person's age and wealth. So, dito sa example na to, meron tayong dalawang variable na nakita. Una ay age, pangalawa ay wealth. So, ano ba yung tinatanong dito sa example na to? So, mapapansin ninyo dito, nakalagay ay there is no significant relationship. So, pinaka-common na example ay there is no significant relationship. Ibig sabihin, yung age ba at saka wealth ay may relationship ba? Ibig sabihin, halimbawa, kapag ba mas matanda ang isang tao, mas mayaman siya. O kaya naman, pag ba mas bata ang isang tao, mas mayaman siya. So that's the relationship na tinutukoy dito sa example natin na null hypothesis. Next example, there is no significant difference between the means. Okay, ito ay another common example ng null hypothesis ay yung difference between the means. Kapag sinabi nating mean, yun yung type ng average kung maaalala nyo. 'Di ba ang average ay mean, median, mode. Ang mean ay yung ginamit natin to represent the average. So meron tayong control group, merong experimental group. Ngayon kinuha natin yung mean ng kung ano man yung variable na mina-measure natin and tinetest natin kung meron bang significant difference yung kanilang means. So that's the null hypothesis. Next, ano naman yung ibig sabihin ng reject tsaka fail to reject? So, 'di ba ang antonym, kabaliktaran ng reject ay accept? Ayan, accept. So, bakit ang ginagamit natin dito ay fail to reject? Kapag sinabi kasi natin na fail to reject, ang ibig sabihin niyan ay there is no sufficient evidence to reject the null hypothesis. Yun yung ibig sabihin niyan. There is no sufficient or not enough evidence. Sufficient evidence. There is no sufficient evidence to reject the null hypothesis. Kaya sinasabi natin na fail to reject. So, important aspect ito ng hypothesis testing kasi we cannot say that we accept. Yan. Do not say that we accept the null hypothesis. Kasi kapag sinabi natin na inaccept natin yung null hypothesis, then ibig sabihin, wag na tayong yung mga future researchers, wag nang ano yun. Halimbawa, ang topic natin ay this type of intervention given to children, for example. So, kapag sinabi natin na we accept, ang decision natin is accept the null hypothesis. So, parang sinasabi na natin na wag nang i-study yung intervention na yun because there is no significant relationship kung ano man yung ini-study natin. Whereas, dito sa fail to reject, ang sinasabi dito ay wala pang sufficient evidence. So, future researchers can do their own experiment, do their own hypothesis testing to see if uh, same result. So, yun. So, important aspect yun ng hypothesis testing. So, wag natin gagamitin yung term na accept. Yeah. Next, alternative hypothesis. So, ang alternative hypothesis, minsan ginagamit natin ang H sub A or H sub 1. So, kahit anong pwedeng gamitin dyan. Pero most common ay ito, H sub A. Yan. So, it represents your assumption that the intervention made a difference. So, as a researcher, di ba, Halimbawa, social work, nag-present kayo ng intervention. So, syempre, ang hope nyo dun is that the intervention will make a difference. So, yun yung alternative hypothesis natin. Yun. It is the expectation about how the independent variable affects the dependent variable. So, for example, there is a significant difference between the group that received the physical therapy and the one that did not. So, there is a significant difference. So, yun. Yun yung alternative hypothesis. So, null versus alternative hypothesis naman. So, common types of research design. So, most common sa mga research studies, una, kino-compare nila yung mean. Okay. Pag sinabi natin yung mean, yung average, yan, of control group and experimental group. So, kapag sinabi na, ganito yung notation kapag in symbols. Ibig sabihin, ito yung null hypothesis, di ba? Yung H naught. So, kapag null hypothesis, tapos kino-compare natin yung means. So, sinasabi lang natin na the mean of the control group is the same and equal as the mean of the experimental group. So, sinasabi lang natin dito na walang difference. Same lang. Ayan. Next, ang alternative hypothesis naman dito, sinasabi na not equal. Yung mean ng experimental group ay not equal dun sa mean ng control group. Yun yung sinasabi sa alternative hypothesis. So, why do we use statistical analysis dito? Diba, kung isipin nyo halimbawa, yung mean ng controlled group ay halimbawa 10.5. And then, nung nag-present tayo ng intervention, yung naging mean ng intervention ay halimbawa 10.49. Yan, tayo 10.50. Yan. So, pwede natin sabihin na eto na siya, not equal. Kasi 10.50 is not equal to 10.49. Kaso, 'di ba yung sabi natin kanina dito, there is a significant difference. So, yung ano ba ang difference nitong 10.50 at saka 10.49? Ano, 0.01 ba? Hindi ko alam. Check nyo na lang. So, yung tinatanong dito ay, yung 0.01 difference ba ay significant? Yan. That's why we use the statistical analysis. Kasi, obviously, not equal to. Obviously, ano. Pero, significant ba yung difference na 0.01? Yan. Next example or common type of research design, testing if there is a correlation or relationship between variables. Yun, tinetest naman natin dito ay relationship ng kung ano man yung variables na tinutukoy natin. So, halimbawa ng null hypothesis is variable 1 does not have significant relationship with variable 2. Ayan, so, does not have. Next, alternative hypothesis, variable 1 has a significant relationship with variable 2. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin nito, halimbawa, yung variable 1, pag ba yung variable 1 ay tumaas, tataas din ba yung variable 2? Kaya naman, pag ba yung variable 1 ay bumaba, bababa din yung variable 2. Another example, kapag yung variable 1 ba ay tumaas, tapos yung variable 2 ba ay bababa. So, ito naman ay inverse relationship. So, relationship pa din either way. So, direct or inverse, pareho lang yun na relationship. So, tinetest natin dito, meron bang relationship at all? So, let's try to formulate the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis for the given study. So, babasahin ko muna. So, a social worker studies whether the level of parenting stress among single parents is related to the number of reported behavioral problems in their children aged 6 to 12. Okay, so makikita nyo na agad dito yung variables. That's why diniscuss natin yung variables at dapat ay marunong kayong mag-identify ano ba yung variables dito sa pinag-uusapan natin. So, unang variable dito ay parenting stress among single parents. Pangalawang variable ay behavioral problems in their children aged 6 to 12. Ibig sabihin, kukunin natin yung level of stress ng single parents. Tapos, kukunin din natin yung behavioral problems. So, parenting stress is measured using a standardized scale, and child behavior problems are measured through teacher report. So, kailangan natin kasing ma-quantify or ma-measure yung ating mga variables. Kasi ang variables should be measurable. So, formulate natin yung null hypothesis. So, sabi dito, related. So, may keyword related. So, ang tinatanong dito, relationship. So, ang null hypothesis natin dito ay, there is no significant, okay, keyword is significant, relationship between V1, which is yung level of parenting stress, di ko na isusulat, and V2, variable 2. Ang variable 2 natin ay reported behavioral problems in children. So, ito yung variable 2. So, that's it. Naka-create na tayo, naka-formulate na tayo ng null hypothesis. Ano naman yung alternative hypothesis? E di tatanggalin lang natin yung no. There is a significant relationship between variable 1 and variable 2. So, yun. So, yun na yun. Kaya tinatawag natin na alternative hypothesis kasi nga yung research studies ay nag start sa null hypothesis. So, kapag ang null hypothesis is rejected, so alternative hypothesis na yung gagamitin natin. Okay, so next example. So, hindi ko na to uh, sasagutin. Try nyo na lang na i-formulate yung null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis for numbers 2, 3, and 4. Okay, ito yung number 2, ito yung number 3, and number 4. Okay. Pag-usapan naman natin yung characteristics na non-directional at saka directional. So, ang ano dito, root word ay direction. So, pasaan? Pakaliwa ba? Pakanan? Yun. So, halimbawa dito. So, compare daw natin. Compare and contrast. Anong pinagkaiba nila? So, dito sa una, okay, hindi natin alam kung yung parental engagement ay positively or negatively affects child behavior kasi wala namang sinabi. Itong alternative hypothesis natin na to, walang sinabi kung positive or negative effect. Whereas dito sa second example, makikita natin na ang alternative hypothesis natin ay sinasabi na positively affects child behavior. Ibig sabihin, kung meron tayong data, so depende sa data natin. Halimbawa, ah, mas mataas na score, halimbawa, higher score, higher ano, positive, positive effect. Ibig sabihin mas maganda yung effect. Okay, so depende yun sa data ha. So, parental engagement positively affects child behavior. Ibig sabihin, ine-expect natin na yung data natin ay pataas. So, halimbawa, yung controlled setup natin ay yung mga score ay halimbawa lang ha, ang mean ay 10.2. Tsaka yung intervention group. So, dun sa control group, ang mean daw ay 10.2. Tapos, dun sa intervention group, ang mean ay 11.5. So, ibig sabihin, pataas. Ibig sabihin, better child behavior or positively affects. So, may inaano na tayo dito. May direction na. Okay. So, dito, with direction. Positive or negative. Yan. So, in notation, ganito yung itsura niya. Okay. Kapag non-directional, ibig sabihin walang direction, ginagamitan lang natin ng not equal to. Kapag naman directional, either pakanan, halimbawa ganyan, kaya naman ay pakaliwa. Baliktad yata. Ay greater than, ito naman ay less than. Yan. So, why do we have to be sensitive dito sa word na positively affect, saka or kaya naman negatively affect? Kasi, yung t-test natin, which is i-discuss natin mamaya, makikita nyo na may option doon na two-tailed or one-tailed. So, makikita ninyo. And even sa other test statistic, meron kayo makikita na option na two-tailed tsaka one-tailed. So, kailangan alam ninyo kung yung alternative hypothesis ba ninyo ay two-tailed or non-directional or one-tailed or directional. So, try daw natin to determine whether the given study requires one-tailed or two-tailed test. So, basahin ko number 1. A social worker collects data from parents of elementary school children to examine whether parenting stress levels are related to the frequency of behavioral problems reported by teachers. So makikita natin dito, ang V1 ulit natin ay yung parenting stress levels. Okay. Yun yung V1, parenting stress levels. Ngayon, ang V2 naman natin ay frequency, gaano kadalas na magkaroon ng behavioral problem. Halimbawa, nanununtok, yung bata, gaano kadalas. Yun yung minimeasure dyan. Ang alternative hypothesis natin dito ay parenting stress level is significantly related to frequency of behavioral problems. Okay, so tanong ngayon, one-tailed ba siya or two-tailed? So this number one ay wala naman sinasabi kung siya ay yung mas mataas na parenting level ay mas mataas kapag mas mataas yung frequency. Walang sinabing ganun. Therefore, itong study na to ay two-tailed or non-directional. So, itong next examples, hindi ko din sasabihin kung ano sagot dito. Sa class na lang natin sa face-to-face. Yun. So, yun. So, ito yung, again, yung decision kapag non-directional, two-tailed. Kapag directional, one-tailed. Okay, let's move to t-test and p-value.